Good morning. What a glorious morning it is. Boy, I woke up, looked at the weather report. It's going to be mid 60s, sunny today, and I thought, well, I'm going to go out and I'm going to stay home. Uh, it is going to be a glorious day, but we're limited as to what we can do. Um, so we need an anchor through all this, and I want to talk to you about that this morning. What our anchor might be. So get yourself something to be comfortable with. I've got my tea here, and yeah. Oh, you're probably wondering what type of tea I have. Well, yesterday, Mrs. Schaff, Margaret Schaff, put up a little poll on a Facebook page about what type of tea I might be drinking this morning, and Kelly and I were talking about how we could do this fairly. And so what we did was last night before she went to bed, Kelly closed her eyes and picked one of the teas out of our cupboard where I keep my teas. And what she picked was Margaret's Hope. And so this is a story. I don't know if you remember the story of the guy the man from England who had a tea garden over in India and took his two little girls over there. And one little girl was so eager to go back again, and she got sick and was not able to go back. And so he named the tea after her. Her name was Margaret, and it was Margaret's Hope to go back to that tea garden. So it's a Darjeeling. It's a great tea for in the morning, and I really enjoy it. And a nice red uh, flavor, very vibrant looking nectar. So get yourself something, and we'll talk about Psalm 119. Psalm 119. So if you go to Psalm 119, it's the longest chapter in the Bible. It's 178 verses. Um, and I got to be honest with you, the first couple of times I looked at Psalm 119, I thought, oh my gosh, it's so long, it's going to take me 20 minutes to get through it. But after looking at it for a while and I read through it aloud a couple times, you might try that sometime. Um, every other line or so has something to do with the Word of God. And the deeper you get into the Psalm, the more powerful it gets. It's just an incredible letter to God and the power of His Word. And so, right in the middle of the psalm is this incredible verse. Well, a set of verses. I guess we would call it a stanza. So if you turn to Psalm 119 and pick up at Psalm 81, it says this: My soul longs for your salvation. I hope in your word. There's a longing in the psalmist's soul, longing for the presence of the Lord. His hope is in His Word while he's waiting for uh, that intimate relationship with the Lord. The hope is in His Word. My eyes long for your promise. He hasn't seen the fulfillment of the promise yet. Uh, I ask, when will you comfort me? He's wondering when the comfort of the presence of the Lord will be. For I have become like a wineskin in the smoke, yet I have not forgotten your statutes. So he's feeling forlorn, he's feeling lost, he's feeling adrift. Doesn't really sense the presence of the Lord, but he hasn't forgotten the statutes. His hope is in the Word of God. And verse 84, how long must your servant endure? When will you judge those who persecute me? The insolent have dug pitfalls for me. They do not live according to your law. He does. All your commandments are sure. They persecute me with falsehood. Help me. There are people that are turning against him, and he feels like he's unable to handle the situation. They have almost made an end of me on earth, but I have not forsaken your precepts. And then verse 88 says, in your steadfast love, give me life, that I may keep the testimonies of your mouth. And so the psalmist asks for God to give him life. And we're in the middle of a time where we're kind of redefining life. Yet the psalmist's anchor is the Word of God, His promises, His statutes, His ordinances. Psalm 118 goes over it again and again and again. And the solid rock that the psalmist stands on is the Word of God. That needs to be our rock. It needs to be the foundation that we stand on. We need to absorb it. And we have time. We have time to do this now. We have time to get reacquainted with the way. I mean, if we come out on the other end of this knowing nothing more than how incredible Psalm 119 is, we will have learned something really valuable. So I pray that as you walk through your day, that you walk through it immersed in the Word, that it runs over in your mind again and again, that maybe you're even trying to memorize some verses. Maybe you've never done that before. God has given us this opportunity to draw closer to Him. And we will be remiss if we don't make some effort to do it. So, while there are a lot of things I'd like to do today, while there are a lot of things that even as it warms up a little bit, I might even get outside and do some walking and go around our neighborhood and just get some fresh air. But I want to do it in the presence of the Lord. I want to do it with His Word on my mind. So if you haven't done it already, when we're done with this, just take a look at Psalm 119. And when you get to the middle, remember how forlorn and lost the psalmist feels, but how confident he is in the anchor that God's given him. May the Lord bless you. May you have a wonderful day. May you have a vibrant time with the Lord. And if you haven't had your quiet time yet, may it be very special for you. I love you. I miss you. I'll see you tonight.